Welcome to Mystica Vlogs. Please don't forget to subscribe and push the bell button for more videos. Thank you. Alright, good morning. I'm not even sure what time it is right now, but I just woke up and I had I'm not sure if this is a nightmare or what, but it doesn't seem like it was a nightmare because I was actually dreaming about my father. He's with me. I was going to a place where I was showing him where I was. So I told him I'll be okay. And as soon as I woke up, I didn't realize it was even my father that I was dreaming in the first place. I thought it was just a natural dream with somebody that I was acquainted with. But I realized it was actually my father. So I thought I could go further with my experience in terms of my COVID pneumonia, okay, or COVID-19 pneumonia. It's really about time to tell you what happened and how did I get started with this problem, okay? It all started when I was looking for a maid or a yaya or somebody who would take care of me, and somebody would come here and also take care of my dogs and clean the house and stuff. So I happened to have this guy who applied, and of course by the time that I was talking to him on the phone, he said right away that he really needed to come immediately because he was already thrown out from his place, so he didn't know where to go. So I didn't have any choice but to let him come over here right away. So I was left with no choice but to just entertain him here, let him come here without having to really know where this guy really come from and what is his health situation, or did he have any health issue or whatever. But as soon as he got here, all I knew was he was coughing, he was sneezing, and then that's when I told him, like, can you please have a distance from me, you know? So we should maintain social distancing. The fact that you just came here and then I could see that you are sneezing, you are coughing, and then I could see that he was not in a good health condition. But he just never cared about it. He just, no, it's okay. I mean, it's just a little something that, you know, because I just came from outside, but this is gonna be okay. That's what he said. So, well, my mistake is I could have been more careful in terms of letting somebody over here. Especially I am a person who just don't want to go out there because I was so scared that I could get any virus or anything from anybody else. So I've always been inside the house. I have never entertained anybody who'd been trying to invite me out there or invite me to their place or whatever. But in this particular moment, I just never thought about it, you know. And I remember when my friend, one of my friends, as a matter of fact, told me that you have to be careful in getting somebody else, especially those people that you don't know who are not actually vaccinated or who actually were not been able to have their test or whatever. So, I mean, by the time I was not really aware, or I wasn't really caring about what other people say in terms of these kinds of people who would be able to come over here and that I don't know where they're coming from. So, it's just one of those things that I wasn't really aware of, or I knew it was something that was really very important as well, but for me at the time I wasn't really thinking about it. I wasn't really thinking how important it was, because I thought that, well, I don't think it would really matter if he's got some swab test already or vaccinated already, because as far as I'm concerned, I mean, he would still be able to cut some virus when he goes outside, going to the market or whatever, as long as he's gonna be dealing with other people outside. And I thought, well, still gonna be the same. So yeah, that's actually one of my friends, Matthew Conrad. He's always been very, very very concerned about me in terms of my health, because he said that, you have to be careful in getting some people right there, most especially those people that you don't really know. Well, for some reason, I really didn't care for what he was saying, because I thought that, because if somebody would, would come over here, and then of course, you cannot just expect everyone to have a swab test already, because sometimes, it's very costly to have swab tests. As a matter of fact, I just paid $5,500 for a swab test prior to knowing that I am actually positive in terms of COVID pneumonia. So, and of course, that's at Gentry General Hospital. And same thing when Stanley had his swab test as well. So it is very costly. So I expect that not everybody would go and have a swab test before they would get to where they wanted to work or whatever, just like me. So I thought, well, even if they have already had their swab test, and then if they still have to go out there and still deal with other people and who are not really tested yet, or who are not vaccinated or whatever. So I thought, well, it wouldn't matter. So sometimes, like, it would really help sometimes, like, if you listen to a friend or if you listen to somebody who's really concerned. Matthew Conrad has been the one, the number one, who's been always very concerned about my health, very concerned about the people I was dealing with. But because I thought that I would never have a COVID, because I'm a person who's just a homebody, I would never even go out. I would never even go somewhere else, or not even summer or whatever. And of course, with some stories as well, with, like, for example, my neighbor, they had some symptoms as well. But I wasn't really listening to my intuition, that what if it's really something that I could also get from them or whatever. So, since they're in home quarantine or whatever, they've never got tested, but they had the symptoms, or, as I was told. And I wasn't just really worried about it, because I thought that, well, they didn't go to a test, so I think they're just fine until now, whatever. But I'm not really sure, really. Sometimes, like, you can just make some speculations, where did you get it or whatever, but at least you could think of some possibilities, where did you get it, okay? So like what I said, I used to be very, very stubborn. I just never thought that I could get it, because I thought that I was always safe. I've always been inside my house, and I've never wanted to really go out or whatever. So I thought that it would really be very, very impossible that I could be one of those who became victim. I could be one of those victims that is really suffering from it right now. Well, I still have some difficulty in terms of my breathing, although I was already given a medical certificate coming from the Quezon State General Hospital, that I was already, I'm finished with my quarantine right there for how many days, a few days or whatever. I wasn't able to finish the required quarantine days, because as soon as they found out that my health was already okay, and they already put me through the x-ray machine, and they have found out that my lungs were actually getting better compared to the first time when they checked my lungs, my in terms of my my in terms of my x-ray. So I thought it was really nice that after just a few days, probably it only took me like 4 days or 5 days right there, and as soon as they found out that I was already getting better and stuff like that, so they thought they could just release me so I can just continue my my home quarantine here at home. So I'm doing my best right now in order to be able to be healed or whatever. Although I know that I'm already okay, and then I was already given a negative result after they have x-rayed me and stuff like that, but still I cannot just be assured that I am completely okay right now. So it's much better that I just have to tell you what happened, and I just have to tell you the truth instead of hiding it, because I'm sure that I was given this kind of sickness in order to be able to share also my testimony. Otherwise, I'm sure that God is not going to be happy if I'm going to hide it. In terms of some help coming from friends, I really do believe that, I mean, help wouldn't come from those people that you have helped before. And I am not really I'm not really expecting that help would be coming from them, because it's just up to them if they really would like to help me as well, especially now financially. The person that I thought who was really helping me, and I thought that with this kind of situation that I have right now, he would be there for me, but I didn't realize that by the time that I was in this kind of situation, and he even wanted me to die. You just don't know sometimes, like, there are people that you expect that they would really be there for you in terms of situations like this, but at the end of the day, and then you just realize that he'd rather want you to die. That really hurts. It really hurts a lot. I mean, especially if you're really talking to somebody that you thought that who would be there for you for the rest of your life, because he's always been there for you for long years already, and it really hurts that it's more on the mother that's really thinking, because by the time I didn't have a car, and of course I was roaming around, I was actually posting that if ever somebody would help me in order to take me to places where I really wanted to go, because I really wanted to get treated. And of course I went to these 3 places. Just so happened that I was very late already, so they said, "You're too late, so sorry, we cannot entertain you," until one of them understood my situation, and I said, "I just came from General Trias. I came all over here, so if you can really accommodate me, at least I know that, if I'd be okay, at least I'd be able to survive, because if I cannot be treated right now, and then I might just die, or it would just be too late for me." So I'm so lucky that one of those hospitals or one of those clinics that accept like immediate patients like that, but they don't admit. Actually, I was looking around if there was a place that can admit me, but unfortunately I wasn't able to find one. So of course I was so desperate that if I would be able to get a place where I would be confined or something, and especially when I found out already that I was positive with my COVID pneumonia. So I was just so lucky because I'm not really sure what day was that when Stanley just came over here. He just knocked at my door. I thought I was just dreaming because I felt like I was so delirious already. I didn't know if I was already in my state of mind. I thought I was just dreaming. I thought I was just having a delusion or whatever, that I was into a situation where I just didn't know where I was in. So as soon as Stanley got here, and then of course I wasn't able to respond right away, and as a matter of fact, he just forced himself to get into my property, and as soon as he was knocking at the door and said, Mom, please let me in, please let me in. So I thought I was just dreaming. I have let him in, and then that's when he came and rescued me, and just said, Mom, please let me help you. Please let me take you to the hospital. And of course, he did everything in order to give me some massage or whatever he could do, because by the time my body was so sore, I didn't know what I was feeling. I felt like I couldn't breathe anymore. So he was there to give me first aid until the time that he told me that there was really no choice but to take me to Quezon City General Hospital, since Jody, his wife, is working right there. And of course, I didn't realize that Jody had some messages to me as well, until the time that when Stanley told me that it's really about time for him to take me right there. So in the middle of the night, he was able to take me. But of course, there's a real lineup right there. A lot of people outside the hospital. They were just all there. They were just all lined up outside and stuff like that, waiting to have some room and stuff like that. So I had to wait in the car for how many hours and stuff. So that process, it was really so hard for me, knowing that I couldn't breathe and stuff. But I'm so glad I was able to manage with their help. So it was really a great help as soon as I was able to go there. I was able to be assisted by some nurses and some doctors right there. It was a long process, as a matter of fact, because there was no availability in terms of some rooms. You have to wait. Everything has to be waited right there. And I just got so lucky because as soon as there was an available room for me, they were able to accommodate me right away, and they were able to assist me right away. So I really wanted to thank all those nurses, those doctors who have assisted me, and of course to Jody. I am so glad that I was actually at that place at the right time. Otherwise, I could have been one of those people who never survived and who has never been able to be able to to live just like the way I am right now, because I knew that it was really one of the hardest thing in my life that I cannot even explain how hard everything was, because it seems like you are in a place where you don't know if you could actually still be alive, or you were survived, or you don't know what was gonna happen next. So as soon as I saw everybody was there, and of course everybody was having some difficulty in breathing and coughing and stuff like that. So all I could hear was nurse. So there were moments where I was actually the one calling the nurse already, because I really didn't want that the next person close to me who was actually trying to scream, but she cannot really scream, but she was really trying to find a nurse. So I was the one who had to get up and ask for some nurse. I had to go around because everybody was very, very busy. I mean, considering the fact that there were lots of patients right there, and of course, considering the fact that how many nurses or how many doctors were just assigned in each time that, you know, especially to those areas where there's a lot of patients or whatever, then, and of course the number of their nurses or their doctors just very, very limited. So I could really understand the situation was, but at least I was able to survive. And anyway, I would like to take this opportunity to thank a very, very special person, Mr. Hank Julian, for being there for me at those times of my hardships and difficulties, because he was able to help financially, and at least he was able to help me out as well in terms of transportation. He was able to be able to help me and Stanley also get a transportation. This is very, very wonderful. We're going to treasure that gift forever from him. Thank you once again. It is really, really wonderful to find some person like him, because although you haven't met a person like that, or you haven't really known him well, but when God would really send you somebody as an angel to be able to help you, and then he would never hesitate. His love and his support and his help to you, you may not be able to get some help from those people that you have helped before, but I do believe that when some help would come, and then they would be coming from different people that you've ever never even known, or you've never even thought that they would be coming on your way in order to be your angel. So once again, thank you so much, Hank Julian, for being there by those times that I was actually in need of somebody like you. So thank you so much, and you're such a blessing to me until now that you're still there, and I hope that God is going to be giving you back whatever you are giving me right now as a special blessing. And I know that it's also a blessing coming from God, and he's been using you as an instrument to be able to help me in so many ways. And of course with Stanley, I hope that this is not going to end. I hope this is just the beginning of a very, very wonderful relationship. So God bless you, and thank you so much. So once again, Mr. Hank Julian from USA, or from Reno, Nevada, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And I love you. Stanley loves you. And I hope that you're always gonna be there for us, no matter what's gonna happen. And you're always gonna be there in order to be a part of our lives. Because I thought that you just don't know sometimes, like somebody comes over, and just like when I said, I actually considered him as Tom Hanks or Forrest Gump, because it says that wonderful message that says life is just like a box of chocolate. You just don't know what you're gonna get. So he came across, or he came to my life as just one of those, a box of chocolate that you just don't know that inside that box of chocolate, and you don't know what you're gonna get. So it just felt so much. I was so delighted, and I was so overwhelmed. It didn't matter if he didn't know me yet or whatever, but the trust, or the special love or the special care of a person like him to somebody like me that he hasn't even known for a while, hasn't even met in person, as a matter of fact. We just met online, so it's really very special. I may as well take this opportunity right now in order to thank him, because I wasn't able to thank him for the last few days when I was there, because I just didn't want him to be subjected to critics or whatever. Sometimes, like, people tend to say negative things to those people who really wanted to be around me, or who really wanted to be involved with me, or who really wanted to help me out or whatever. But at this point, it's not really important what other people would say. What most important is how much I really appreciate, how much I really give a salute to people like him, who has given his love